and welcome back to TrikBrix. I'm Jamie, and today we're going to continue our Wild West retrospective by taking a look at 6765 Gold City Junction. This classic set was released in 1996, contains 350 pieces, 6 minifigures, and retailed for $50 in the US. I absolutely love this set, and it's one that I wanted since I was a kid, so I'm stoked to have the opportunity to share it with you guys. As you can see, I've got the instructions showcasing the box art on the front, and if we flip it over, we'll find a myriad of interesting alternate builds. All of these are pretty decent in their own right, and if you're looking for some Wild West inspiration, feel free to pause this video here and give this a good once-over. But for those of you itching to see the actual set, let's jump right in. First up, we get another addition to our stable of wagons, and it's probably my favorite, being the late 1800s version of a Brinks truck. This thing is loaded with interesting details and cool features. Since speed is one of the keys to evading bandits, up front we'll find not one but 2 horses pulling their weight. As you can see, they're both of the brown variety, and they're hitched to the wagon via this center plate, which runs into the same setup we've seen on all of the Wild West wagons, this hinged turntable piece that also gives us some steering. Above that is a buckboard and the driver's seat, with an easy-to-reach rifle clipped to each side, and space for another minifig right behind the driver. And whoever that minifig may be is going to have the job of tail gunner, because we've got some major firepower in the form of this swiveling triple gun setup on top, similar to what we saw on the bandit's secret hideout. Just below the gun is the all-important cargo, protected by bars on 3 sides. One way to get to the safe is to swing one of these side gates open, but that's pretty boring. Let's ask ourselves, what would Black Bart do? Each side has one of these hinged panels with a stickered $sign graphic, and they both flip upward. On this side, there's a little cubby hole behind it with just enough room to store a revolver or other small item, but if we spin this around, we'll see that this side has a curious little slot right here, just the right size for a bundle of dynamite. So the idea is, Bart rides up alongside the wagon, tosses the dynamite in, and kablooey. I love this action feature in the sheriff's lockup, but having it here on a mobile platform is even cooler in my opinion. The safe is identical to all of the others, and it carries 4 chrome gold coins. Like I said, this is probably my favorite wagon in the theme, and while some may argue that the covered wagon is a better display piece, this one certainly has the most play value. It's up to you who drives, but according to the instructions, this guy gets the reins. Flat-Nosed Curly is his name, and he's exclusive to this set. I really like this figure for the simple fact that he adds some variety to the folks of Lagoredo. He gets the gray cowboy hat, and his face print, with its black mustache and somewhat unkempt hair, was shared with a few pirate minifigs of the same era. His torso, only available in this set, features a brown leather vest, tie, and a belt buckle. Brown pants finish off his outfit. I love getting exclusive minifigs, so this guy was a very welcome addition to my collection. And now, let's start getting into the meat and potatoes. This set comes with 2 buildings, each resting on a 16x32 tan base plate, and the first one we're going to explore is the general store. Beginning outside and at the top, we've got a wooden wall here with the store sign, which, as we've seen several times in this series, is a sticker positioned over 2 separate bricks, unfortunately. I'm really not a fan of this method, but it is what it is. A nice detail here are these 2 red shutters on either side, which can actually be opened if one of your bandits wants to get a peek at what's going on without being seen. The roof is built with hinge plates, so it has a nice slant to it, and it's supported at the front in part by these posts, which are built atop 2 railing sections. The front porch is pretty spacious, with plenty of room for a few minifigures to mingle before or after they do their shopping. You've got a small barrel here with a skillet and a pickaxe, both vital pieces of equipment for any range-roving cowboy. And if you happen to miss the sign on the roof, there's a nice little decal on the window here identifying the building. I mentioned in the Sheriff's Lockup episode about the troubles you may encounter with second-hand transparent stickers, and you can see some of that here, especially with the bubbling at the top. Unfortunately, I have yet to purchase a new decal sheet for this set, so I'm gonna have to live with this for now. I do like how they decided to go with a green window and door for a bit of color. But before we take a look behind this door, there's a bit more to see outside. The left of the store is home to a prickly bush, and to the right we'll find a fence, a large barrel with a rifle inside, and a stack of cannonballs. And cannonballs aren't much use without a cannon, so of course we get one of those as well. I'm not sure if this is something the general store is selling or if the proprietor is just super serious about shoplifters. Either way, I love the design of these old cannons, either non-firing or firing, although the firing types obviously have a bit more play value. The small cart build is identical in every way to the one we looked at in the covered wagon review, right down to this hitch plate, even though the wagon included in this set lacks a hitch. That's a fairly easy custom fix though. And that's about it for the exterior. Let's see what sort of goods the general store has to offer inside. As you can see, space is a bit limited here, but we've got a small sales counter with some cash already laid out, a barrel with a shovel inside, and this nice little display behind the counter with a variety of items. 2 rifles, a hammer, a revolver, and 2 bundles of dynamite. There's really only enough room in here for 2 minifigures to fit comfortably, but I'm okay with it. With exception to saloons, which regrettably but understandably we never got in this series, most of the action in Western films always seems to happen outdoors anyway. So let's go back outdoors and take a look at the next building on Main Street, and a sure target for our bandits, the bank. I really like the red, white, and blue color scheme used here, as it jumps out against all of the more drab-colored buildings in Legoredo. Once again, beginning at the top, we've got this easy-to-spot sign, but this time the decal isn't placed over 2 separate bricks, it's placed over 3. I'm so glad LEGO doesn't do this anymore. The sign does have some nice shaping, so at least it's got that going for it. There's also plenty of room up here for positioning minifigs, maybe bandits getting ready to rob the bank or some gunmen for a big shootout. You've got some fence detail here in old light gray, and 3 separate blue awnings, which was an interesting design choice over the full-size porch roof we've seen before. Like the general store, we have a large front porch with some railing, but this one actually features a bench for one of our weary townsfolk to sit on, a very welcome addition. Above that is a bit more detailing thanks to a short fence piece. More translucent decals adorn the door and windows, and if we take a look at the left side of the building, we'll find a few additional stickers. Both of them are old-timey advertisements for other local businesses. First, the general store, which we've just seen, and the second is for the Legoredo newspaper and printing office, which was never offered as a set, unfortunately, although I'm not sure how popular a newspaper building would have been with the kids. Anyway, I like the flavor both of these decals add to the town. The rest of the base plate contains another bush, a bird-topped sign featuring a printed 1x4 Legoredo tile, and the same wanted poster we saw outside the sheriff's office, offering $500 for Flatfoot Thompson, dead or alive. We also get another piece of black fence here. So let's see what the interior has to offer. Like the store, there's not a ton of space in here, but it gets the job done. Over on the left, we've got the teller's area, with a safe built into the end of the counter, and a $100 bill on top, and another inside. And I like the use of this fence element as a barred divider between the teller and the customers. On the right sits the bank vault. It's easy to see that there's nothing in here at the moment, but we can remedy that by opening the door and tossing a few $100 and the safe from the wagon inside. Now, we've probably got the bandits' attention, and they've undoubtedly been planning a bank raid for quite some time now. So what seems to be their answer for every occasion? Dynamite. Yep, if we take another look outside the vault, we'll find a very familiar looking slot here at the bottom of the wall, so you can probably guess what's going to happen next. Some may find this feature a bit redundant, but I love it. And this one just happens to be the most spectacular explosion yet, since the entire front wall of the vault comes flying out, along with the cash and whatever hapless minifig happens to be sitting on the bench, in this case the banker. Let's rewind and see what he looked like before this awful tragedy befell him. The banker is the second minifigure included who is exclusive to this set, and he features 2 prints never offered anywhere else. His face, with those wire-rimmed glasses and a pencil tucked behind his ear, and this torso. which sports some very nice detail, including a white button-up shirt with tie, black vest, gold watch, and a pocket full of cash. I really like this guy, and he's one of the more valuable Western minifigures from a collecting standpoint. While his printing details are slightly dated, I still think he looks good enough to serve in a more modern city setup, if he survived that explosion, of course. The other 4 minifigures we get are all ones we've seen many times over the course of this series: the Sheriff, Deputy Dan, a Cavalry Soldier, and Black Bart. So if you'd like an in-depth look at each one, feel free to check out the other videos in the Wild West Retrospective playlist. When all's said and done, Gold City Junction is definitely a standout in the Western theme. For kids, there are so many scenarios waiting to be played out here, and it also displays very well on a shelf if you're an older collector, especially when paired with the Sheriff's Lockup. There have been quite a few amazing Wild West towns created by custom builders over the years, and it's definitely a subject worth Googling, but for me, the simplicity and charm of these classic sets is hard to beat. If you'd like to add the Gold City Junction to your collection, you can expect to pay somewhere around $70 for a used copy, and about 3 to 4 times that for a sealed set. My recommendation would be to find a used one for a decent price, and if necessary, try to pick up a new sticker sheet if you have the extra $20 to $30 and want to make it really nice. This may very well be my favorite set from the theme, but we'll find out in our next episode when we conclude Season 1 of the Wild West Retrospective by taking a trip out to the one and only Fort Legorado. Until then, please consider giving this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Once again, this has been Jamie for TrikBrix. Take care everybody, and play well!